Hi there. I wanted to take a moment to talk about something that's been on my mind over the past 24 hours, which is the importance of knowing how to choose your neurofeedback provider. I was contacted by a potential client yesterday asking about my services as a neurofeedback provider, and they were telling me that they've been in contact with a couple other people in the area, and that piqued my curiosity because up until recently, I was the only neurofeedback provider in the Akron area that I was aware of. So I did some Google searching and found that there are a couple other people. And during this conversation with this client, I was asking some questions about, what they're looking for and so forth. And it really got me thinking about the importance of knowing what you're looking for, knowing the right questions to ask if you do end up seeking out neurofeedback, and the importance of being an informed consumer, not only just for, if you're looking for neurofeedback, but any medical condition or mental health condition. You should really try and be as educated as you can in choosing the person that you decide to work with. So a little bit of background about the field of neurofeedback. It is not a regulated profession in that there's no state licensing board for neurofeedback. There's no national licensing board for neurofeedback like there would be for like a medical doctor or myself as a licensed professional counselor. I'm licensed by the state of Ohio to serve as a professional counselor. There's no such thing for the field of neurofeedback. However, there is a national credentialing board. You can take a test, complete the hours for certification, do the mentoring hours, the client hours. It's a big process to become board certified in neurofeedback. Which I am, and I think is really important. In order to become board certified in neurofeedback, you have to be some sort of medical or mental health care professional. So you have to have an active license in the state that you plan to practice in. Unfortunately, for the field of neurofeedback, it's not necessary to go through these steps to provide neurofeedback. So there are people out there doing neurofeedback who have no medical background, have no mental health background whatsoever, and they are able to do neurofeedback on clients without any repercussions for doing so. So that's pretty scary to me, and so that's the number one thing that I would want to know about my neurofeedback provider is, are they board certified? Have they, do they have a professional license? Have they passed the rigorous standards to earn that board certification? The second most important thing in choosing your mental health neurofeedback provider would be, are they a professional? So if they're board certified, you know that they have a professional license that is active and doesn't have any issues with their license. So that is also important. There are many different types of people who practice neurofeedback. Most of them are in the mental health field, so they are licensed professional counselors, psychiatrists, psychologists. There are medical doctors out there who provide neurofeedback. There are chiropractors, physical therapists. So, it's a pretty wide range of people who are able to do neurofeedback, but they must have that professional license to gain that board certification. And another important thing that I would want to ask a potential neurofeedback provider is, what is their experience? So how long have they been doing it? What kinds of clients do they have experience in treating? Do they have any experience in treating the particular condition that you are looking for? So I have going on 5 years of experience with neurofeedback in itself, and I've treated a wide array of conditions. I am always straight up with people. If I don't have a ton of experience with a particular condition or haven't seen great results or whatever, I'm always straightforward about that. So you want to make sure that you're asking those questions and making sure that they have the experience to work with you. And the last point I want to make is just that try and educate yourself. Neurofeedback is not a cheap thing to try and utilize for your symptoms. And so, if you're going to be spending the money, you need to make sure that you're seeing somebody who carries those credentials and has that experience. Hopefully in the future, the neurofeedback field will become a full profession with a national licensing board or state licensing boards, or it'll be required for people to have these credentials to practice neurofeedback. Because as I mentioned, there's a person that I know of in the area who has no professional experience. They used to be an educator, and now they purchase neurofeedback equipment and are able to advertise that they do neurofeedback and see clients that way. So nothing against this person. I don't know anything about them, but I think it's really unfortunate that people are able to do that, because we're working with a brain when it comes down to it, and that that's a little scary for somebody to potentially be messing with your brain and not know what they're doing. And along those lines too, as a mental health therapist, I know how to work with people who would potentially have a reaction from neurofeedback. There's not usually any negative side effects that come up with neurofeedback, but it can be tricky working with people who have trauma histories and things like that, because it can bring up trauma and have that be kind of at the forefront. And if the professional doesn't know how to work with that or help the person process through that, then that can be pretty dangerous, especially if there's suicidal ideation, things like that. Okay, I'm going to end there because I could go on and on about this. I'm passionate about the field and the right people being out there doing it, because you don't want people who don't know what they're doing and give neurofeedback a bad name if somebody ends up with poor results. So if you have any questions about this, feel free to reach out and contact me, and have a great day. Have a great holiday. Thank you.